What's up everybody? I'm Jen from Valley Buzzsaw. In today's video, I'm going to show you how Matt and I took our tiny little closed off living room, dining room, and kitchen from basically 3 separate rooms and opened it up entirely into this beautiful open great room that you see behind me today. It all started with flooring, but things really came together when we installed the new kitchen. However, sneaky me, that's an upcoming video. So if you want to see how we did that project to completely transform our kitchen, don't forget, subscribe below and then hit that notification bell, hit it to all, that way you'll be notified every time I upload a new video, including that next one about the kitchen. But let's get back to today. Today's all about the living room, and I can't wait to share our transformation with you. Don't forget to like this video. Yes, give it a thumbs up. You know what to do. That's below too. Then also you can check the description if you're interested in any of the products that we used in this transformation. I'll list everything that's still available today down in that description box below. I do just want to say really quick that we completed most of this renovation back in 2014, so unfortunately a lot of the stuff is just not available anymore. But anything that is available, I will link below in the description box. But if you're interested in seeing how we did this crazy transformation, including pulling down walls and a floor-to-ceiling stone fireplace, then just stay tuned. I finally got to put my interior design skills to the test. I drew out our entire living room, great room, to-be great room, as it sat when we first moved in. As you can see, we've got the fireplace on the right, and right in the middle, a big, huge wall. Well, things changed a little bit in the new plan, and that big wall is now where my sofa sits. We get a little sneak peek at the kitchen here, but that's all coming up next week. So first of all, let's get started with tearing out this terrific mirror wall. Well, maybe not. Let's start with this wall, the one in the middle of the room. It really had absolutely no useful purpose to us. This corner was just used as storage and junk for a really long time. Also, we were going for a beach vibe in our lives, and this fireplace, not gonna cut it. Plus, neither of us are really fireplace people, and we live in Phoenix. How often are we really gonna use that thing anyway? It had to go. So we cleared everything out, and I insisted on being the first one to swing the hammer at this wall. I was super excited to see it gone. We really just wanted to open up our space so that I could hear Matt and he could hear me. And open it up we did. He had a real lot of fun with this part. There was some kicking and punching and funness involved, but I even got him to stop so he could smile for the camera for just one quick second, and yeah, we just kept going. That wall was coming down. Our attic was trussed out, and you should check with your local codes and definitely check with a pro. We knew that our place was fine to tear out this wall because it wasn't load-bearing, but you may have load-bearing walls. I do not recommend doing this if it's something that needs a lot more structural support, or if it is a structural support. Anyway, he pulled out the Sawzall. We got that at Harbor Freight, and this video isn't sponsored or anything, but most of the tools we got for this project came from Harbor Freight because they were going to be things we wanted to just use quickly and efficiently and probably not use again. Not to say that Harbor Freight is bad, we love them, but they helped us take this wall down. I'm not going to lie, they were our BFF, and you can see our shop vac in the background there, which we still use to this day. So wall out, Matt got the electrical pulled up into the ceiling, and then we got on with the fireplace. We were able to take out the plywood in the front pretty simply. It really just came down with scoring at the ceiling and a crowbar. And we discovered this behind there. Now, you may look at this and think, what in the heck? But it looks like there were connections disconnected, and we already knew that that stovepipe came in through the wall and into our bedroom because we had a big box in there. So it had to go. We didn't really film a lot. I didn't take a lot of pictures because we both had to try to figure out just how to get that stone down in the first place. It was a pain in the tushy, but it did eventually come. and Matt got a whole ton there, but I started pulling up some tile while he was doing that because we knew that had to go too. We were going to get floors in. And then I got involved in the rock removal as well. That's me with a lot shorter hair and not quite as blonde as I am these days, but this was also 6 years ago, so things change. Anyway, end of day one, we were left with a mantle, some plywood, and about half the stone. And then on the morning of day two, we decided to get a little cute, and then we just got to work. I was not having it anymore. It had to go. One piece gone, kicked it over, and it was done. All that was left then was basically the plywood and the studs and the structure that went around the fireplace, as well as the fireplace insert. All of that came out really super fast and easy. And then what we decided to do was donate the mantle and the fireplace to the Habitat for Humanity restore. They are fantastic. They came out and picked up a bunch of stuff from us. We get a tax write-off. They got some great stuff that people could acquire for a little bit less money. So it was totally a win-win. So there's Matt cleaning up with the shop vac, and everything was done and just ready for drywall. It took tons of loads of rocks out to the backyard, but there's that stuff. Honestly, the debris left behind, the concrete and the stone, it was crazy, and we did end up getting rid of it. There were a couple of lovely ladies who came to a yard sale that we had, and they happened to be rock collectors, and they took a ton of that really cool rock off our hands. So that was fantastic, and we were able to get it to someone who wanted to reuse it. Next order of business was getting out the tile, and you can see the sofas starting to encroach. Plus, we were going to hang up some drywall, and I needed to get with mudding. So in this picture, it may actually look like I was scraping down a popcorn ceiling. Don't worry, I do not have any issues with asbestos removal. This just happened to be the mud. I actually picked up a couple of techniques when I was doing faux finishing for I think it was 7 years. 5 that I ran my own company, and so I do mud a little bit differently. We also needed a texture on this wall, and so this is a lot of the scrape from the knockdown of that texture. I did that texture to match as close as possible to what was already there, and within just a few hours, it was dry, and I was priming the wall. Then I know that this project took place, at least this part of it, on a Sunday because that would be football in the background, but I have swirled it so I'm not copyright stricken here. Thank you very much. But that's not the important part. I mean, hello, check out that wall. You can barely tell. It is clear that there are a couple of studs there, but I assure you that does not show up in real life, and you'll see in just a second part of the reason why. It's because we mounted our TV on the wall, and that was super helpful in hiding anything where you would really be able to tell that it didn't match up. But the texture and the paint really matched up so nicely on the wall and the ceiling. I was really pleased. So now that the tile was out of there and the wall was complete, we needed to get on with the flooring. This floor was delivered to our house. We bought this from Floor & Decor, including the padding. Again, video not sponsored by anyone. We just really, really liked this particular laminate floor. However, that floor was bought back in 2013, and so this is no longer available. But anything that is, I will leave down in the description box below so you guys can check out any of that stuff if you like too. Matt started at the back side of the house on the long side so that it would run lengthwise, which we both really, really wanted. We wanted it to feel like it was even more spacious than it is. I'm not sure why this this area now is like enormous, but it's fine. We love it. My sister joked that we could have a Dance Party USA in here, and you can tell from this picture that it was Christmas, but we didn't really want to have a Dance Party USA in here, despite having this mirrored wall. That had to go. So Matt took out the vent, and we got that ready. And then we went ahead and hired a contractor, professional glass removal company, to come and do it. They did a great job, and we didn't have to worry about getting stabbed or glass falling on us or anything, although we did have a few falls, and over by those boxes you can see a chunker over there on the floor, which I got out the vacuum and took care of. This wall, however, I'm not going to share the final result. That is going to be upcoming with the kitchen video. So be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the all bell for notifications, because that video is coming up next on next Friday, and you definitely don't want to miss it. We did such a cool job in the kitchen, and I'm uber proud. But anyway, let's get back to this video. Matt pulled out all of the supplies and materials needed in order to mount our currently on top of an entertainment center TV up onto the wall. And again, this is why we're going to be hiding some of that stuff where maybe it looks a little janky, where maybe you can see that stud behind the wall. The TV and board and everything like really took away a lot of that issue. So we were pretty psyched. And he did a really good job with mounting this thing. The poplar was such a good idea, and he used these like uber ridiculously large bolts so that he could get that thing securely into studs and into the wall. You could hang like a 500-pound person, I think, off this thing and it wouldn't go anywhere, but it came out really fantastic. There he is, just attaching the TV right there to the actual unit, or rather the mounting block. And then this was maybe like the best idea we ever had. We pulled all the cords through the wall, and you can see in the bottom part of this picture there's a round area. He just pulled everything through there, and it was seamless. That way you don't see any cords dangling. It's so much cleaner, not a mess. We didn't have to use any of those cord channels on the wall either, which, you know, they're not terrible, but just having a little bit of skill in pulling that cable through the wall, he was really able to make that happen pretty efficiently, pretty quickly, and it looked great. And speaking of looking great, I love my living room. It's just wide open and spacious now. We can hear each other. When one of us is in the living room, the other one's in the kitchen. The traffic pads are so much better for flow. I'm not better for flow, but here we go. And then there's the other angle of the living room. We just love it. It's really functional. It's really easy. You can access the slider door really simply. It's a quick, simple jaunt to the front door. And we're both just really, really excited with how our beachy living room turned out. You can see those oars over in the corner. I'm planning to mount them above the TV at some point in the very near future. Thanks so much for watching. Any products, materials, and supplies that we used that are still available will be listed in the description box down below. Again, don't forget to subscribe, then head on over to valley-buzz.com for even more DIY home renovation projects. Also, if you liked this video, you can let us know by giving a big thumbs up. That helps us out a lot. Don't forget also to tap that notification bell and select all so you'll be notified about any of our future videos. Now get out there and take on a DIY project of your own. Later, warriors!